Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time to continue our fishing, take care of the patch 2.4 fishing. Before we get started, there's a couple notes I want to make. One, there are two fish we were not able to catch in patch 2.3 that were introduced in patch 2.3. One of them due to the removal of belts, causing it to be impossible to get a high enough gathering set with the gear challenge I'm doing, because it's entirely self-inflicted at this point. And the other one just because I ran out of time, and it was giving me trouble. We're going to be catching those. Before we're done with this patch. Two. Basically all the remaining fish for A Realm Reborn were added in patch 2.4. There's only one fish that was added in patch 2.5. This will change in future expansions, where the 0.5 patch will add the last fish for the expansion. But in particular, patch 2.4 adds what are called the legendary fish for A Realm Reborn, with legendary fish being the 6 hardest fish in the game for an expansion that are generally considered to be like, these are the fish you go for to prove yourself like a very competent high-end fisher, to show that you are really, really good at fishing. We're not going to be doing those legendary fish yet. I'm going to save those legendary fish for patch 2.5. Just because the A Realm Reborn legendary fish are excruciatingly hard. It's going to take a while to catch them, so I'm going to save them for last, just to give myself time to catch them. Next, I redid my hotbars significantly. It's a lot more differently organized now. I put my bait, fishing log, release list, snagging all back here on the hidden hotbar. I've got cast and mooch over here, chum, hooks over here, precision hook set and patience. I might... No, let's do that. Yeah, I've reorganized my hotbars quite a bit, just in preparation for as our hotbar gets fuller and fuller, especially since I'm now level 100 fisher on my main, so I have access to all the abilities, and wow, we probably needed action switch for fisher, but I think this organization will work well going forward as we get more abilities. What else? Yes, okay, Dawn Trail added some really incredibly useful abilities to fisher. Rest is a new action at level 1. Abandons fishing but keeps your equipment at the ready. If you've been watching my fishing videos, you may already immediately know why this is so damn useful. This allows you to, if you get the wrong size of bite, give up on that fish and immediately cast again, so you don't have to wait for the fish to let go. This increases your number of casts per minute or casts per spawn window dramatically. This is very, very valuable. Very good ability. Have it on your hotbar if you're doing fishing, especially big fishing. There's also a new trait called Fisher's Instinct. We'll get into that later. It is new for Dawn Trail. It affects something that we'll be getting into later in this patch's fishing. And finally, before we get started on fishing, I have gone ahead and upgraded my gear. We currently have optimally melded best in slot gear for patch 2.4, at least for what's available for us at the current moment. We could go get the last relic fishing rod, but that wasn't added until patch 2.5, so I'm going to hold off. But otherwise, this is the best gear available, all crafted and fully melded. If we go ahead and scroll through real quick, we'll see the only thing that isn't perfectly melded is the shoes, which are 1 GP short of max. Which is fine, just due to the way that the stats were laid out and what material we have available. We can't get a max meld on the Forager's shoes, but like everything else is perfectly melded, giving us a 370 gathering and a 294 perception. I could switch the hat out for a better perception, but that lowers my gathering, and the gathering's what's really important right now. So, we're going to be doing 2 loops of the fish for patch 2.4. First loop, we're going to be doing everything without the food buff. Just to see what fish we can catch with a gathering rating of up to 370. Second loop through, we'll go through with the food buff from high quality spinach quiche in order to catch the rest, and that should let us catch the rest of the fish, save for the legendary fish. I'm not going to worry too much about the gathering numbers for the individual fish because it is so incredibly hard to find consistent numbers. So, a fish window actually opened a little bit ago, so I gotta get going. I'll see you in a little bit as we get started with our fishing. Alright, our first new fish of the patch, the Ninja Betta. We can get it here at the Tangle in Mordona from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. Eorzean time during gloom weather. To catch it, we need to mooch, triple mooch it looks like, double mooch. Start with a midge basket, pull in on a small pole with precision hook sets. To catch and mooch an Alamigan fighting fish, pull that in with a powerful hook set on a big pole. To catch an assassin beta, mooch that and pull in on the huge pole with a powerful hook set, and we can catch the Ninja Betta. Alright, that is our first fish. On to the next one. Also, before we go ahead and run off, I think there might be something for desynthesizing the Ninja Betta. It's a random chance whether we get it, but we got it! We got the Assassin Fry minion! Well, that's lucky! That is not a guaranteed chance at all, but Assassin Fry. After several turns of the sun sloshing about in the depths of a Ninja Betta's belly, this freshly hatched fry is given up swimming altogether and taken to the skies. How spending time in a belly can inspire fish to flights is something only one who has spent time in a belly can know. They say never look a gift fish in the mouth, from Sisyphus. Awesome! Caught the Assassin Fry. That makes me very happy. Alright, next fish. Alright, our next fish is the blue corpse. We got a tutorial? Oh, okay. Oh, I think I know why. Alright, so the blue corpse comes from here at Snowcloak in Kurthus Central. Let's read this tutorial real quick before we go over its spawn requirements. We've caught an elusive fish that it will only appear when one specific weather type follows another. There are several types of these fickle creatures in water, sands, and skies across Eorzea, so keep an eye out for meteorological changes while casting your line. That's right, there's fish who only appear when there's specific consecutive weather. Alright, let's go over the spawn conditions. Blue Corpse spawns all day at Snowcloak when either blizzards or snow is followed by clear skies or fair skies. That is to say, the current weather needs to be clear or fair skies. The previous weather needs to be blizzard or snow. It will never check what the future weather is going to be. It will always check what the previous weather conditions were. I don't think there's any situations where it requires a chain of multiple weather changes, like 1 to 2 to 3. I think it's always the current and the previous weather, but who knows? Depends on how mean they wanted to make it. Anyways, you can catch it with caddisfly larvae as the bait. It responds well to the precision hook set, which is incredibly important. Relevant information even when you're not mooching. Now with the level 100 skills from Dawn Trail, making things a lot more interesting with fishing. We'll get to that when we hit level 100. And it responds well, and it is one of the huge poles. It is a heavy tug. Alright then, next fish. Alright, the next fish actually surprises me a little bit. I didn't think it would be catchable, to be honest. At least not with a not without a food buff. So I'm rather pleased by this. We've got the Mahar coming up, which is available all day after a transition from clear or fair skies to a blizzard. You catch it with Hoverworm as your bait, pull in on a big pole with powerful hook set. In order to catch a Cloud Cutter and then mooch that, pull in on a huge pole with a powerful hook set to get the Mahar. Genuinely surprised that we were able to catch this one, but I'm happy. Alright, caught another fish. We caught the... Coming in now is the Wootz Knifefish Zenith. To catch this, we need to be during the time period of 1 a.m. to 3:20 a.m. Eorzean time. From a transition... After a transition from clear or fair skies to foggy weather here at North Thanalin's Cerulean Field. We need to use the honeyworm as our bait, pull in on a small pole with a precision hook set to catch and mooch a silverfish, then reel that in on a huge pole with a powerful hook set to catch the with-knife fish Zenith. Also forgot to mention for the last fish we did, that was of course that witch drop up in Kurthis. That was my mistake. Moving on to the next fish. Alright, caught another fish. Coming up is the blood red bony tongue. For this one, it needs to be from 4:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eorzean time. After a transition from clear or fair skies to fog weather here at Mordona's Singing Shards. For bait, we want to use honeyworms. Pull in on a small pole with a precision hook set to catch a silverfish and mooch that. Pull in on a huge pole with a powerful hook set, and that will give us the blood red bony tongue. Alright, next up. Alright, the next fish we are catching is going to be the Bat of Nine Tails up here at Parada's Peace in Western Thanalan. After a transition from rain to either fog, clouds, clear skies, or fair weather, available all day with no time restrictions, we can catch the Bat of Nine Tails. First, we use the honeyworm as our bait, pull in with a precision hook set on a small pole to catch a silverfish, then mooch that, pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pole in order to catch the Bat of Nine Tails. Alright, next up. Alright, our next fish is going to be the Discobolus, finally catching it after missing it in patch 2.3. For this one, it is available in Southern Thanalan at Zaharak from noon to 6 p.m. Eorzean time during heat waves. No mooching, just need to cast a glowworm, pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pole, and hopefully you'll eventually catch it. Next up. Alright, the next fish on the list is going to be the magic mushroom found at the Sylphlands in East Shroud after a transition from rain or thunderstorms to fog or cloudy weather, I believe? Yes. No time restrictions, available all day, just the weather requirements, thank goodness. To catch it, you want to start with the spinner as your bait, pull in with a precision hook set on a small pole to catch a common sculpin, mooch that, then pull with a powerful hook set on a huge pole to catch the magic mushroom. Alright, next up. Alright, next on the list is the Ignis Horn, which you can find at the Deep Tangle in Mordona all day after a transition from gloom weather to clear or fair skies. So it needs to be clear or fair skies, and the previous weather should have been gloom. Cast out a glowworm, pull in with a precision hook set if you're using patience on a huge pole, and you will catch the Ignis Horn. Next up. Alright, the first fish we are catching with food buff up is going to be the frilled shark, one of the two fish we missed in patch 2.3. To catch this one, it needs to be 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eorzean time during foggy, cloudy, or gale or windy weather. To catch it, we're going to start with a lugworm, going to pull in with precision hook set on a small pole, mooch the Merlthor Goby we catch, pull in with a powerful hook set on a large pole to get a wahoo, mooch that, pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pole to get a giant squid, mooch that, and then pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pole to finally get the frilled shark. Finally got this one, moving on. Alright, the next fish we are catching is the Coelacanthus here at the Isles of Umbra South Shore in Western Lenosia. During foggy, cloudy, or windy weather from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eorzean time. Starting with a spoon worm, we're going to pull in on a small pole with a precision hook set. Catch a full moon sardine and mooch that. Pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pole, and we will catch our Coelacanthus. And again, all fish from here until I say so are going to require food buffs. There's going to be a certain group of fish that might not require food buffs again, but those have very special requirements. Next fish we are catching that's going to require the food buff with our current gear challenge is going to be the Sea Hag. We can catch it from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eorzean time during clear or fair skies at the Reaver Hide in Western Lenosia. We're going to catch this one with a bit of mooching. We're going to start off with the lugworm. Pull in with a precision hook set on a small pole to catch a Merlthor Goby, mooch that out, pull in with a powerful hook set on a big pole to catch a wahoo, Mooch that out and pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pull, and there's a good chance you'll get the sea hag. There's a couple fish you can get, but sea hag is definitely one of them. Alright then, next up. Next on the list is the Giant Takitaro over here at Earth's Gifts in South Shroud. Available all day during thunderstorms or just regular thunder. Cast out a glowworm, pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pull, and you may catch the Giant Takitaro. Don't worry about the message it gives, we will get to that later. And we're not going to be catching this thing that follows up the Giant Takitaro, but we will be getting to this soon. Right next on the list is going to be the Ndendeki, which you can find here at Moondrip in Western Thanalan from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. Eorzean time during foggy weather. To catch it, we're going to be doing a bunch of mooching. We're going to start with a honeyworm, pull in with precision hook set on a small pull. To catch a silverfish, which we then mooch, pull in with a powerful hook set on a large pull to catch an assassin beta. And then pull in again with a powerful hook set on a huge pull to catch the Ndendeki. Next up. Next on the list is the Void Bass, which we can catch at the Wrath of Frost in Mordona. Available all day after a transition from either clear or fair skies to gloom weather. We can catch it with the glowworm, simply pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pull to catch the Void Bass. Next up is the Old Man of the Sea, which we can catch from the forecastle of the Rutano Sea Privateer in eastern Lenosia. Talk to the shipwright over on the docks in Costa del Sol to get over to the privateer, and you're going to be fishing at the front of the boat. This one is available all day after a transition from either rainy or showery weather to clear skies. And we're going to be doing a bunch of mooching. We're going to cast out a pillbug, pull in with a powerful hook set on a large pull. To catch a harbor herring, mooch it, pull in with powerful on a large pull. To catch an ogre barracuda, mooch it, pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pull to catch the Old Man in the Sea. Next up is the Canavan, which happens to be the last fish I actually caught. It is available at the North Shards in Mordona from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eorzean time during gloomy weather. And we got a lot of mooching to do. This happens to be the last fish I caught, so it's going to actually give an achievement at the end. But we're going to cast out with a honeyworm, pull in with a precision hook set on a small pull to catch a silverfish. Mooch it, pull in with a precision hook set on a small pull again to catch a goldfish. Mooch it and pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pull to catch the Canavan. Next up. Alright, the next fish we are catching is going to be the first of what are called intuition fish. This is a third group of fish. In addition to the fish that are easy enough that we don't need food buffs and fish that are hard enough that we do need food buffs. This is an actual second group of fish, and the third group we're going to be going for today. Intuition fish, in order to get them, you need to meet special requirements. First, you need to trigger a buff called Fisher's Intuition. And the way this is triggered varies from fish to fish. It just depends on which intuition fish you're going for. But as a general rule, you will need to catch a certain number of a specific type of fish in order to get the Fisher's Intuition buff. The buff will last only for a certain amount of time, so you have to act fast, but once you have the buff, the fish you are looking for, the intuition fish, will appear in the fishing hole for you to catch. So, for this first fish we are going for, this first intuition fish, thankfully does not need any food buffs for us. First we need to catch 3 jungle catfish, and those can be caught by starting with a honeyworm, pulling in with precision hook set on a small pole to catch a silverfish, mooching that, pulling in with a precision hook set on a small pole to get a goldfish, mooching that, and then pulling in with a powerful hook set on a big pole to get a jungle catfish. Once you've caught 3 jungle catfish, in the same fishing expedition, without standing up, actually you might be allowed to stand up and move around just as long as you don't leave the area, don't quote me on that, but as long as you've caught those 3 fish while you're in the area, you will get a notification letting you know that, hey, there's a new fish available. This will give us a 10-minute Fisher's Intuition buff, which will allow us to go for the Imperial Goldfish. For the Imperial Goldfish, we are starting with a honeyworm, pulling in with precision hook set on a small pull to get a silverfish, mooching that, and then pulling in with a powerful hook set on a huge pull to get our Imperial Goldfish. One last note, as of Dawn Trail, there is a slight change to how intuition works. Namely, for a good number of intuition fish, not all of them, but a good number, if you recatch the fish that triggers intuition, it'll actually reset the timer, or has a chance of resetting the timer. So hypothetically, if that applies to this fish, If we already have Fisher's Intuition and our intuition's getting low, we can just catch one jungle catfish again, and there's a chance it'll re-trigger the buff and refresh the timer up to full, which is really, really convenient. Anyways, moving on to the next intuition fish. Our next intuition fish is the Pirate's Bane. To catch this, we need to first catch 6 wahoo, which you can catch by mooching lugworm, pulling with precision hook set on a small pull into a Myrtlethorn goby, mooch it, pull and powerful hook set on a large pull to catch the wahoo. Once you've caught 6, the Pirate's Bane is available. And to catch the Pirate's Bane, you need to mooch out a wahoo and pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pull, and you may just get your Pirate's Bane. Available all day at Cape Westwind in Western Thanalan. No time restrictions, no weather restrictions. The rest of our intuition fish are going to require food buffs in order to have enough gathering stats in order to catch them. The first of these intuition fish that require food buffs for our current stats is the Cornelia. To begin, we need to catch 5 boxing pleco, which are available all day. We catch them with glowworms, powerful hook set on a big pole. Once we've caught the 5 boxing pleco and got our Fisher's Intuition, we can go for the Cornelia. Available all day with no weather restriction at Lake Tatotl in North Shroud. And we catch it with the Rainbow Spoon Lure. Pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pole, and we'll catch our Cornelia. And the last fish is next. Alright, our last fish is going to be the Dark Star, available here at the Weeping Saint in Kurtha's Central Highlands. To begin, we need to mooch 5 Lamp Marimo, which are catchable all day with Chocobo Flies. Pull in with a precision hook set on a small pole to catch your Lamp Marimo. Once you have the Fisher's Intuition, Dark Star is available from 7 PM to 4 AM Eorzean time during blizzards and snowy weather. I recommend catching 4 Lamp Marimo just in advance if you know that the correct weather is going to be coming up, and then catch the last Lamp Marimo right after the weather conditions become ready for the Dark Star to appear. Just as a way to optimize your time, make sure you have as much time in the window to catch the Dark Star as possible. To catch the Dark Star, we're going to mooch, starting with a Honeyworm, pull in with a precision hook set on a light pole. To catch an Abelathian Smelt, mooch that out, pull in with a powerful hook set on a huge pole, and we'll catch our Dark Star. Alright then, that's all the fish we're catching for now. I'll meet you back in Mordona. And that is it for the fish of patch 2.4. Well, except of course for the legendary fish, but we're going to be catching those in patch 2.5. The last fish I caught got an achievement Go Big or Go Home 10. And that will actually give us an Ironworks fishing rod. Rumor has it that the fishing enthusiast Biggs use the Garland Ironworks crafting facilities after hours to create this Magitek enhanced rod. Alright, let's grab it, and it's going to be better than our Halcyon Rod Supra. Let's see, Gathering goes up by 12, Perception goes up by 6, nope, yes, no, yes, yes. Not bad, that'll make it a lot easier to catch fish. And let me stick the Hamlet Puller's hat back on, since it really wants to switch me over to the shared hat, even though this is better for gathering stats. Alright, that puts us at a base gathering of 382 for catching all of the big fish in A Realm Reborn, except for the legendaries. Alright then, with that, next time on Final Fantasy XIV, I forget what we're doing. There's so much we're doing. But we are coming closer and closer to the end of patch 2.4. And moving on closer and closer to Heavensward. I will see everyone next time as we continue to clean up patch 2.4.